Richard Johnson, a game too far, perhaps an injury too far for this one. Depleted bowling lineup and a pretty tough time having won the toss. The rain fell, not quite what you were expecting, hoping for a bit of movement, but the movement was probably slipping out of the hand, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was a tough day. We thought we did well winning the toss. We thought it was a good wicket to chase on. But yeah, conditions weren't that great, to be honest. Got very wet quite quickly throughout that whole innings, to be honest. And you saw the way the ball skidded on. It was very difficult to change pace and bowl your cutters. So yeah, didn't get the great end of the conditions, but you know, we still didn't nail our skills well enough. We're a young bowling lineup, but these are the days where it's all in the bank for learning, and we've got to improve and get better than what we did today.
Did you want to come off through that rain? It was probably quite difficult for us actually to detect behind the glass how heavy it was and for how long it was.
Yeah, we tried to come off a few times.
Because we saw the debate between Eskenazi and the umpire, we didn't realise that was what it was.
Yeah, it was tough. It was tough conditions. Extremely wet, also visibility. But you know, the umpires made the call as long as they were consistent through their innings, our innings as well. But then it decided not to rain through ours. So.
Yeah, and a reduced chase in that circumstance would have been obviously a little bit easier, and it wouldn't have been quite as difficult bowling in those conditions.
A couple of outstanding innings by one obviously world-class player and Tom who played extremely well. But as I said, we didn't put the ball in the places we needed to. We didn't hide it enough, and you know, they ended up getting a massive score.
And it was a chase that Middlesex 8 batters they have with Anderson at 8 that you wouldn't have ruled out at the halfway stage. You'd have said, look, go out there, do it. But ultimately, when you're chasing that, you need a lot of things to go your way.
Yeah, I think we were expecting probably 350 chase anyway. We knew it was a good wicket. We knew it would be a high-scoring game. But obviously that extra 50 runs is quite a lot, and it means you have to go harder for longer through the innings. Disappointing, you know, no one put their hand up and batted through. But yeah, I mean, if you're chasing 400, you need everything to go your way.
Word for Stephen Eskenazi at the end of this group stage, leading run scorer, I think, as the group finishes. An extraordinary run of form for him and Sam Robson. It was a good batting display by all throughout, wasn't it?
Yeah, individually throughout the whole tournament, I think we played well. I think we only put one total performance together a couple of games ago. So there's lots of room for improvement, lots of room for next year to be better at this again. We feel unlucky to be missing out. 10 points normally gets you through. So it's been one of those strange years where you end up not getting through the 10 points. So yes, good individual performances. Standout obviously been fantastic all the way through the tournament. Also Robbo coming in at 3, slightly different role for him. I thought has adapted and shown some real skills in that position. As I said, I think every individual can take something from the competition, but it's just disappointing to come up short.
And is it fair to say you'd made a decision to give the youngsters a go in terms of Greatwood and Harris throughout this competition, where they weren't going to get that go in the Blast perhaps, or in the Championship, because obviously Mercer could have played, but you know, you'd made a conscious effort that this competition, this is their opportunity?
Yeah, I think so. I think we got a nice mix between senior guys and young guys, and obviously when we had Umesh playing as well, you know, that was your senior go-to seamer. So Mertz came in to replace him with that,
and that was a blow today to lose him to injury, obviously.
Of course, and to have, you know, give these younger guys some opportunities, I think is important. But I thought we had, for most of the competition, I thought we had a really good blend of youth and experience all the way through. And so Mertz coming in was really just to keep that little bit of experience coming in, and he obviously did really well.
It was only one defeat from 6 and 5 wins on the bounce up to the last 2 games, which is when, you know, it becomes a knockout competition at the last 2 games, doesn't it? And that's ultimately what it's been.
Yeah, I think, look, it was always tough games or away games. Radlett is our home and we know the ground very well, and probably the last game was the disappointing one from our point of view. That's a game we should be competing better and winning, and then you don't have to worry about this game so much. So that was probably the more disappointing game out of the 2. And you know, that if you look at our whole campaign, the 2 games at home against Leicester in the first game was another disappointing one where we felt we should have won that. So, but I think you can look at all competitions throughout and see areas where you could have improved and try to win games. But overall, you know, happy with individual performances, happy with that run of 5 games. but certainly there's room for improvement in both skills, and that's what we'll be analysing, reviewing for the winter, and gives us something to work on for the boys for next year in the winter period.
And I'm sure it's not easy to say, I'm sure for Middlesex members and fans as well, but 5 wins from 8, you walk away from a group stage, 5 games out of 8. It's something to take away from, especially going into, it's nothing to beat yourselves up about going into what's a massive 3 games to end the championship season now.
Yeah, as I said, 10 points normally gets you through, so there's a disappointment in that normally you'd be through. Losing your last 2 games when it's in your hands is disappointing, but the boys have, as I said, individually performed, and we've got a lot to take with us over the next 3, the 3 championship games now.
How much do you look forward to that next 3? Get it back going in the. It'd be nice to shelve this one now, won't it, with the disappointment, and just get focused on Red Bull.
Yeah, it's a tough summer where the different formats, backwards and forwards. Suddenly we're back into Red Bull cricket. We've got a bit of time now from now until that game, so we can reflect a little bit on this last few weeks, and we can then really spend a good amount of time getting ready for those last 3 Red Bull games.
Thanks for your time. Thanks for your time. See you again soon.